the tree of knowledge. So a lot of what I've also been hearing from different individuals nowadays is they just kind of leave it at that. It's actually a tree of knowledge of good and evil. But there's just so many people, and I've been hearing this from false prophets, secularists, from people who are being taught by professors in classrooms about religious studies, apparently. That actually came up at one point in my church. But they just leave it at tree of knowledge, so they can say, oh, well, God is evil because he's withholding knowledge from man. So naturally, man needs to gain knowledge, and that would be the perfected state. So we're actually better off now than we were, like, by eating and gaining knowledge, because they're removing that. But we're better by gaining knowledge now in the fallenness of our world than we were in the perfect state of Eden. No. Because it's of specifically good and evil. So what's going on here? And we could say, well, Adam and Eve already knew good. Goodness is all around them. When God created things, every single time he created something, he said, it is good. In fact, and when he finished creation, he said, everything together is very good. Yes. There's only one thing that he said was not good, and that was man being alone. So he had to finish creation, he had to continue creation with the woman. Yes?
I can see where this is going.
Yes.
In that everything that already existed was good.
Yeah.
And then we create knowledge of evil.
Yes. So, well, yeah, more experience or go in the direction of. Yeah, because with goodness, this is absolutely related to God and godliness. So, do we have a complete understanding of God? No. I mean, most likely never will, because we're finite creatures. Even in the world to come, we'll still be finite creatures, so will we understand all things of God? Most likely not. But we, like Adam and Eve, we're still experiencing God, still we're able to be there. So if you could say, well, what were they missing? They might be missing the actual descriptors of what is good. Because they could understand, well, I go out to any other tree, I can pick its fruit, I can eat it, this is giving me nourishment, the taste is great. So they could always be experiencing good that way. God just created Eve, so Adam and Eve could come together in that relationship, complementing each other. They could be considering each other as good and a gracious gift from God for each other. So yes, they are experiencing good, but do they have the descriptors or even the contrast between good and evil? Not exactly, no. And with evil, well, what do they really have to describe this? Well, they don't have evil present. However, what they can do is they can look at, well, goodness is godliness, so this is ungodly over here. So they don't have like an exact definition of this because it doesn't really exist for them, but they can just go like, oh yeah, it's ungodly. And whereas they are experiencing life on this side, they know that this would bring about death. So they don't have a direct experience of this, but they can infer it. And this is the vast majority of human knowledge even today, is that we infer things, that we have what's called inductive knowledge, where we can look at patterns and then we can have some idea of what's going on from these things. But yeah, when you just go tree of knowledge and then you just act as if they're just completely ignorant, no.
Right.
They probably experience far greater things than we will this side of heaven, because they saw everything working together in harmony.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So Eve is recognizing, yeah, we shouldn't be doing this. And since they're already in kind of the good side of the garden, how would they understand the tree? Well, they haven't really had too many commands given by God yet, so they'd be innately following the 10 Commandments, which don't need to be chiseled in stone just yet. But they would still be following these things as for the actual commandments of God given by the Word, which Eve is using right here, given the Word. They know that proper worship of God is not eating of this tree. So if they just go there, they look at the tree, and they go like, I'm not touching it or eating from it. This is good and godly. Yay! And then they just go away and do whatever they want. I would also say being fruitful and multiplying. That's also one of the things that God has commanded. It doesn't seem like they got to have quite the chance to do this, so this fall is most likely pretty early on in creation. But yes, they could also enjoy the gift of marriage with each other. That is a good and godly gift that the Lord is professing to them. So if they engage in that, then yeah, they are once again worshiping God.